Hey guys, and welcome back to another Warframe video. This video is going to be something that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, but I've never really found the time nor the patience to be able to do this. And it's about the Zylok, and more specifically, a Riven mod that I've had for a very long time that I've rolled to this, which is essentially the best I think I'm really going to get reasonably without wasting my life farming Kuva. So we got 76.6% toxin, a nice boost of 180% damage, and then a nice even 100% multi-shot. So we essentially fire 3 bullets with every shot, with an 80% chance of firing a 4th, which really helps because this weapon, it's not as powerful as it seems. I mentioned this when I first reviewed the weapon or talked about it. It's clunky, it is powerful, and it has potential, but I can't seem to get it to work the way I want it. But I will be showing it off regardless. And with the Grineer, we actually have hydraulic crosshairs. For Corpus, we don't. Because since this has toxin, we can just use one of these mods to get corrosive, and it still has a decent amount of status. Remember, this fires 2 bullets with a single trigger. So then we can bump up that critical chance as much as we can because it is fairly low. But for Corpus, we don't really need that hydraulic crosshairs, so we just have gas damage with as much status as possible, so we can get that to actually proc. Now against Grineer, it can be very good and it can be very bad depending on what kind of procs we get. So I'm going to show it off now. If you don't know, this weapon came with an event where we defended a relay on PC. And it is essentially a pistol version of the Cyberus, and look at my Cyan Data just kind of phasing in and out of existence as I move. No need to fix that, guys. That's perfectly fine. So you click, and it fires 2, and then does a little swing animation. For the longest time, I would like this, and then reload, because you just kind of have that. It's kind of like a Tigress, so it's like you can hold down and then let go, and then it fires 1 shot at a time. Well, because I think of the Tigress, I would go dun dun and then reload. I just have that instinct to do that. Anyways, let's just fire off just in bursts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bursts. That's not too bad. But as you can see, the procs aren't that impressive for the increases that our Riven mod gives. I mean, if we get lucky, we get 4,000, but that's if we get a crit. If we don't, it's only 400 damage. So, and as you can see, we can do this. This essentially just kind of evens out the DPS or whatever. It just makes it easier to get headshots if you just kind of duplex fire it. As you can see on the napalm, it is very tough because, as you remember, we only have corrosive damage. We don't really have any bonuses against this alloy armor, so we have to remove it or ignore it with slash. So as you can see, it's taking a while. Let's just try to burst fire it just to get that extra DPS, because I'm close enough to where I can pretty much hit the head no matter what. As you can see, it's okay for a pistol, but I don't know, there's still just something about it. I don't know why I would ever use this over some other pistols, just because of this. And I bet, like, I know a couple people. I occasionally watch people play Warframe kind of blind, or new players. One person I saw actually had this as their main. They got it from the event as it was going along, and they really liked it. So, I mean, kudos to that person. But I don't know, man. Even with this Riven mod, you can see it's struggling to take down these level of enemies, and it's not a bad weapon, as you can see, because we can get those good slash procs. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that's just, it really throws me off when I'm using it. Alright, now let's test Corpus, and this is where it gets a little bit better. And as per usual, we're testing against Eximus, because Eximus, at least some of these Eximus will actually resist most damage types. So we get a better accurate representation of, this is the best case scenario of this weapon, handling this scenario. But you can see the damage is actually very good against Corpus. It will usually one-shot these with just a single burst. If we get lucky with those procs, of course. and the crits. But when we do, it's actually very good against Corpus. So this weapon can be potentially a very powerful Corpus killer, but as many people will say, all weapons can kind of be that way because Corpus don't have armor, and even when they're Eximus, they're still weak to gas, or toxin rather, so you can really pump up the damage. So yeah, the Zylok, it has potential to be very good if you get a better Riven than mine. I'm not sure what a better Riven could possibly be, but at least against Corpus, without too much effort, it can become very deadly. So yeah, thanks for watching.